All right, going live in 3, 2, 1. Well, this is Olivia On Air. We're up to episode number 25. Olivia, how are you?
I am sick. How are you?
I'm not sick, so hopefully that helps to balances everything out because I'm just kind of a little. The weather here is a little weird. We've been going up and down, so I don't know if that would help you. I don't know. You're pretty consistent where you are, aren't you? As far as the weather, it's pretty warm still where you are, right?
Well, in the mornings, it gets into like the 50s and the 60s. And then in the daytime, it's usually around 70. Today it was a bit warmer.
We've been having for the DC area really weird weather. Yesterday it was up to about 72 degrees. So
Oh,
and today we dropped down to about 40 degrees. So it's
that
like,
is really weird.
and I'm looking at the forecast for the next few days, and by Saturday we're supposed to get up to 75 degrees again. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it's all over the place as far as the temperatures here. So
That is really odd. I've never heard of that.
well, I'm sorry that you're sick. I wish there was something I could do, or maybe the audience could do to help you feel better. So, um,
Audience, just think really hard about me getting better. And then I'll be better probably. So, thank you.
positive thoughts, positive waves going your way. Well, let's see. Let's take a look at our question from last week. Looks like we got a pretty decent response here. Let's see, 1,300 votes. Did you have to? Did you do? Oh, sorry. Did you have to do many group projects in school? If so, if so, did you like them? Why or why not? And leave a comment. So, 74% said yes, I dislike them. Uh, and okay, that's right. We had yes twice. Okay, and then we had 10% with no. Yes, I dislike them. Sorry, I'm getting thrown off on that. This is 8% with a tie with no, and I don't care. Hmm.
That
So
makes sense. I
overwhelming,
agree.
74% do not like them. That's interesting. What was the percentage before? I don't even remember. It was about
I
the
don't
same.
remember either.
The I have scanned through some of these comments. I didn't want to go too far into them. It looks like they're pretty much matching up with the voting status as well. Let's see. We put them in newest to oldest. No, I hate socializing. What is with these questions? Well, we're just trying to find out the little things here and there. Let's see. Is that Scotty? I'm always afraid to say these names because I can't read it. It says, I was forced to work with my crush, so I can't complain. Not, not sure about that one. I mean, if you're working with someone that you're attracted to, and then they don't want to be, they're not attracted to you, that could be the exact opposite effect of what you're looking for. That could be more like frustrating than anything else. So
That's true. Or if you're like bad at what the topic is, they might think you're dumb.
that's true. That's true. Yes. I would rather work alone. Next one down says, I'm just more comfortable and productive when it's just me. That's another one for you. What you said, you were pretty much at the 75% category too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So one reply says, same. My teacher forced me to do forced me to do with somebody. Yes. Kiss Best Fan said, because I like them because most of the time I had to do nothing and got a good grade.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
I saw students that would do that too, but my students would not, I would not allow them to do that though. I would not let them pass. So if a student did that, I would watch I would see who actually did the work and I would grade them accordingly. So if I had a student that come in and it was like maybe 2 or 3 people and I could tell only 2 of them did the work and the one just sat around did nothing, they would get an F. So,
That's good.
and then LOL. So, I dislike them. I think we read these already. I dislike them all. I dislike them. I'm sorry. I dislike them at all. And because it says because let's say irritating. So I dislike. Thumbs down. So okay. I assume the ones that are saying that they dislike they're also with the dislike category. I misinterpreted that last week as meaning that they dislike the question, but I wasn't putting that together there. So
All right, perfect. It makes
Cool.
a lot of sense to me.
Hmm. Now, as far as a question for this week, what do you have for us?
Well, I want to ask, what do you do when you're sick? Because, I mean, I need all the help I can get.
What do you do?
Right now, for me, I am just resting, but I can't breathe out of my nose, so sleeping at night is difficult, and it does feel unfair. And like a crime, this kind of thing should be illegal. I don't agree with it. It's morally incorrect. I should be able to breathe out of my nose just fine.
The I know that's how annoying that is. Have you ever had a sickness where you lost the sense of smell?
Yeah, if I can't breathe out of my nose, I can't really smell very well. So
Well, yeah,
I've
kind
been
of, but that's not really the same thing. I mean, where you could actually, because you may still be able to smell it, but because your nose is plugged up, it's causing you not to be able to smell. I mean, actually lose the sense of smell.
I
Um,
don't know. I don't think so. I think there have been times when I can't taste anything very well, or it alters the taste of things. That's really annoying.
I actually got sick one time when I was younger. I don't remember how old I was, but I lost the sense of smell for about a week or so, maybe even 2 weeks. And I didn't think I never I thought I lost it permanently, but eventually it just came back.
That's
I could,
good.
and it was weird. I was like, I was trying to smell things. I couldn't smell anything. It was very bizarre, but I wasn't worried about it. It was like if it didn't come back, it was like the one sense that it's nice to have, of course, but it's not essential to survive, really. So it's not like it's like it's better than going blind or losing your ability to what's the other senses that would be pretty bad to lose? Um, sense of touch, I guess maybe. So
I mean, I think if I had to choose one sense, I would want to lose the sense of taste because then I could just eat healthy all the time. And I wouldn't, yeah, that would be probably the most advantageous. I do love food and tasting food though, so it would be sad, but at least I would be able to be healthy all the time.
the if you lose the taste of taste, if you lose the sense of taste, excuse me, that might make you it might be a weight issue at that point. You might cause people to, like, if they did that, they might they wouldn't know when to stop eating. I don't know. Would that affect that? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I
It's,
think I don't know actually cuz you stop eating when you feel full.
yeah, it's
It's
true.
not like a taste thing. That would be more like a sense of touch. Maybe. I don't know.
Hmm. I know my cats, I might have said this before, my older cat before he died, he was 19. For the last year of his life, he couldn't smell his food. So because of that, he couldn't figure out where the food was, even though it was right in front of him. So that was a major pain trying to get him to eat sometimes.
Right.
We got a comment from Nia, the rabbit gamer, saying hello. Hello back.
Hello.
So,
Okay. So for the first um bullet point, we can do eat lots of soup.
eat lots of soup. Oh, you. Oops. I like what I'm doing there. Soup. There we go.
And the next one can be take medication.
Communicate. I almost feel like like, you ever seen the game? What was that show? They have Survey Said. What was that show? Where he would,
Was
uh,
that
it,
Family Feud?
Family Feud. Yeah, almost feels like we're doing Family Feud for some reason. Richard Dawson used to host that show, and he used to go up and I don't know how he got away with some of the things he did on that show, but he'd touch and kiss those women on a regular basis. I don't know how he got away with that. So
Oh, is that guy? Because I've seen a clip of that and it's so weird.
yeah, yeah. He's he was very touchy feely, that's for sure. So
Eek. And then the next one can be I never get sick.
well, that's kind of like if your question is already asking when you're already sick, though. So I guess okay, I guess it would make sense.
And then another one can be drink tea.
Drink tea. Okay.
And another one can be other, parentheses, comment below.
Alrighty.
Do you have a favorite cough drop?
Yeah, I do actually. The ones that have the little like gel in the middle. Halls will make them. I don't know if they still make them anymore. It's like Halls Plus is what they used to call them. I don't know if what they call them anymore. Let me see if I can bring a picture up of here.
I
And
think so.
I take them not because I'm sick, but because I do voice work, and sometimes my voice will just get really sore. So I would take those, and that would help cool it out a little bit, smooth it out, so I could get back to talking again. Hold on a second. And the problem is there's a lot of sugar in them too, so that's not good. So let's see, how's Hall spelled? H-O.
Halls.
Oh, it's just okay. Standard spelling. Okay, couldn't remember. Thanks.
I think. I don't use Halls. I'm a Ricola person.
Oh, that's the other one I was going to bring up too. Was Ricola? Yes, I have that one. In fact, I have a bag of those right in front of me right now. I was going to bring that one up. So.
Me too. There's only one cough drop I like. Oh, that's the one my dad likes. I think that's gross.
Oh, well, that's the one that helps. The regular Halls doesn't help me for my voice, so it has to have the little soothing, as they refer to it, soothing syrup center. So
yeah.
And that for some reason that does seem to help. I don't know, but what the Ricola ones are the ones I have right now that also have the soothing center as well. So.
Oh, I only like Ricola, the original, natural herb cough drops. The square ones or the rectangular ones. Those are the only ones that I like. So, and there I went today to get a pack, and there was only one pack left. So everyone is sick, first of all, and secondly, everyone is stealing the kind of cough drop that I like. You guys better back off because I need it.
Here's the is it Ricola? How's it pronounced?
I pronounce it Ricola, but it might be Ricola.
You're right. I think you're right. There's something. There used to be a radio commercial several years ago where they'd say Ricolai, and I don't know. Maybe that was another product, and maybe that's why I was saying Ricolai. So excuse me for saying that. But
I remember a commercial where they went Ricola, and that's I think they did that in the I don't know, in there was a part of the song, I think.
It sounds like the one I'm thinking of. So maybe I was just remembering it wrong. So I'm just being silly there. My fault. So. Soothing center. Let's see if I got it here. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the one. Yep, I think this is. Yep, there's the bag. That's what I have right in front of me right now, just like those. So.
Oh.
And that seems to help a little bit. Like I said, it's not. If you take the regular ones for like my when my voice gets all weirded out, it just doesn't seem to have the same effect. But as a little center in it, seems to work better. So maybe it's my imagination. I don't know.
Interesting. There was one time I had a bad cough when I was sick, and I guess in the middle of the night I was sleeping and coughing at the same time because I woke up suddenly and my mom had a spoonful of honey and she just shoved it in my mouth. And so I ate the honey and it worked. I went to sleep and I wasn't coughing. So next time you have a bad cough, maybe just try a spoon of honey. It might work.
That's really interesting. Oh, wow.
No idea how she thought of that, but she is a genius because she's a mother. So,
Yeah. Mothers know those things. So that's pretty cool. Well, we got Agent. Is that Agent 47 saying hello or hello? Hello.
All right.
So before we does the question look good? What do you
Yes.
do you do when you're sick? Okay. Lots of soup. Okay. We're going to go ahead and post it. We'll come back to that. Now, before we go any further, we do have an affiliate. That's NordVPN. So if you'd like to support what we're doing and you'd like to use NordVPN, I've used it before, and I used it when I was the first time I ever used NordVPN was I bought a video game, and it was only supposed to be sold in Germany, but I bought it in Amazon. I don't know if you know this, Amazon will sell you video games off their foreign websites. So I bought one, and I went to install it. Wouldn't install because I was in the United States. So I used NordVPN. I tricked the the computer or trick their servers into thinking I was in Germany, so I was able to install the game without any problems. It worked pretty well. So
Yeah, that's really smart. I've heard of people using NordVPN for if they want to go on Netflix, but the movies that they want to watch aren't available in the US or wherever they are. They can go on the VPN and then switch their location, and then they can watch whatever movies they want.
yeah, I've heard that too. I've always wondered. I've always wanted to try that, see how well that works. But yeah, that's and it also helps if you're having any issue, like if you want to hide your IP address. I've done that as well. So with what I get when I log in or I use Facebook, they want you to log in. So what I do is I don't want to log in because they want to capture my data and sell it. So what happens if you log into if you're I'm not logged in, but excuse me, if you just use Facebook too many times, eventually they'll block you and say you have to log in. But if you turn on the VPN, NordVPN, it'll say, "Oh, you're in a different location, so we don't care anymore."
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. But I also don't have a Facebook, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like Facebook, but I have to use it for the work I do during the daytime. So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of businesses are dependent on Facebook. Did you see that it's going to be Meta instead? Or it is now, I guess?
what's that? I'm sorry. Say it again.
It's Meta, I think, instead now.
No, what do you mean? Explain what you mean there.
Like, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. He renamed it Meta,
Oh,
META.
oh, okay. I heard there was something in the news. I didn't know what that was about. Is that what it is? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was really weird. You can okay, I think one of the announcement videos brought a lot of attention to me because on his bookshelf, on Mark Zuckerberg's bookshelf or his set bookshelf, he had a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. And just like as if it were normal to keep a barbecue sauce bottle on a bookshelf. So it's further proof that he's not a real human. Um, every time news comes out about him, it always proves to me he's not real. Um, I don't know what they did with him, but that's that's a robot or something, because that's just not natural.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
So
that's why I found out about the Meta thing. So,
interesting. So it's no longer called Facebook or what? What is it? Is actually what did they change the name already?
well, when I go on to Instagram, before on the bottom, it would say from Facebook, like because Facebook owned Instagram. And now it says from Meta instead. So I think that they've officially changed the name to Meta, but it might be in that awkward transition phase where not everyone is accepting the new name. So
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to bring this up here. Okay, I'm not that it really matters what we're looking at here. I'll just bring it up anyway. But this is one of the Facebook pages I go to. It's a fire and rescue page. At the very top, they still have it listed as Facebook. So
interesting.
yeah. So and by the way, this is in case you're wondering, this is the mobile version of Facebook. I use you can use it on a regular browser if all you do is put the little M at the beginning instead of www, and it brings up the mobile version. So I use that because it makes it easier to read some of the things on there instead of the regular version. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So before we go too far, though, if you want to support our show and help us make more shows, go to the affiliate link in the description below, and you can click on NordVPN, and you can sign up for their service. It's the top link on the video description right there, and you'll help us out.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, alrighty, we got another hello from not sure how to pronounce it. Desin Haas Play 3.0. Hello.
Desin Haas Play 3.0 Christmas tree.
Oh, thank you. I forgot that part. And he's got a little Christmas. He's in the spirits. He's got I'm not sure what that is. What is that?
It looks like a little, like a cartoon ninja guy with a Santa Claus hat on.
Okay. Well, thank you. If I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. But thank you for the hello there and the little Christmas tree. So
It's a perfect segue into the movie.
That's true. That's true. So our movie for this week is Elf, and this is something you had seen before. Oh, here we go. He responded back. Let's see. He says Brazilium. Maybe Brazilian with an N, maybe. But so thank you. So, yeah. Right. So you had seen this before. Is that correct?
Yes. I started watching it when I was a kid, when it came out, I think. And my mom really liked it, so we have it on DVD, and it's in our like yearly Christmas DVD collection.
Oh, okay. So something is like an annual tradition now, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes, we have like a little, I think a lot of people have this. They have like a little collection of DVDs of Christmas movies. And then throughout like December, we watch them. And then in the week before Christmas, we really go in and watch all of them. We watch them a couple times because you can't watch a Christmas movie if it's not December. I don't care if it's after Thanksgiving. If it's still November, you can't watch one, and if it's December, you can, and that's the law. So watch out.
So,
Um,
before you go too far, then let me ask you about the. Have you heard about the controversy? Maybe we discussed this already with the movie Die Hard.
go over it again.
Die Hard is people debate whether it's a Christmas movie or not. So some people think it is, some people say it's not. And so if you think that for the people who think it's a Christmas movie, do you think they should only watch it during December?
Yes, I mean I've never seen it. If it's
Oh,
a movie or a show, like for example, I will watch the Christmas episodes of The Office or Parks and Rec or whatever, not during December because it's a show and it's not as much about Christmas. But if the main theme is Christmas, if it's like Santa Claus, presents, you know, giving, all that, then I feel like that's a Christmas movie and you should definitely watch it during December. But
gotcha.
if you feel like you can watch it outside of December, that's fine. Just be prepared to reconcile that with the law again.
Did you say the law?
Yes, because it's illegal to
So,
watch movies outside of Christmas time, which is December. So,
the
that's not for me to decide to judge you. I will, but
you'll get the internet police on your on the movie police, excuse me, the movie police on you. So getting back to Die Hard. Die Hard was a movie that was released in the summer of 1988, and the controversy came about because it started it has the main theme of the movie has nothing to do with Christmas. The movie itself simply takes place during a Christmas party, so which takes place in December. So during this over the last I don't know a couple of decades, it's been shown more during Christmas time. So people think now it's a Christmas movie, and other people say no, it's not a Christmas movie. And so some of the people involved with the movie said have come forward and said no, it's not. And more recently, some of the people that were involved with the movie said yeah, it's a Christmas movie. So and I think they were doing that just to appease the people who were saying it was, just so there wasn't a controversy. But it's an action adventure movie. It's Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis is an action adventure guy, right? So
right.
so this was the very first movie he ever was in where he played an action adventure person. Before that, he was kind of a loving kind of a character, more of a fun loving kind of. He wasn't a tough guy at all. So it was this movie that transformed him into that tough guy kind of persona. So
Interesting. Well, I
and
guess, it's just one of those things where if you feel the Christmas spirit when you watch it, then it's a Christmas movie for you. And that's good.
gotcha. So and be careful. Don't let us know if you're watching because we will I well Olivia will call the police on you. So
Well, I won't call him. It's again not my place to judge.
oh
But
that's
just remember, Santa is watching you all the time. Kind of creepy, but he is, so.
by the way, we got another comment from him. He says, I do not understand English. So sorry you can't understand what we're saying to you. So that was kind of funny. So Elf, getting back to Elf, this is one of the ones that you watch. Are there any other movies that you watch during this time of year?
So many. I just watched Home Alone 2 today. I was going to try to, um, you know, have some self control and not watch all the Christmas movies that I own at one time and too quickly, but I've already failed. So, um, I could just watch them again. It'll be okay. But I watched Home Alone 2. We also have Home Alone 1. We have like the original not the original, but you know those uh the stop motion Christmas movies with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman and
Yeah, the
stuff
TV
like
shows
that.
from
We
the
have the
60s.
collection of those like Christmas classics, I guess.
Hmm.
Um and I can't watch those until a week before Christmas. And I have a few more. So
The there's also a Rudolph's Happy New Year that came out when I was a kid. I don't know if that one. Do you ever watch that one too? It's done with the same kind of stop motion, but instead of focusing on Christmas, it's about the New Year.
I've never seen that.
I don't know that one. I don't think is as popular as the original. So, but the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer one, I think I've seen. I haven't seen that in a long time. So it's at the isn't there like a guy with has red hair in that one? If I'm not mistaken, is that and then he becomes Santa Claus at the end? Is that right?
The guy with the red hair is um oh, what's his name? He's the he has a pickaxe and a bunch of dogs. I forget his name, but
Okay.
it's something funny. And Santa Claus is Santa Claus the whole time.
Oh, okay, okay. It's been like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I couldn't remember how it worked. Okay, and I do remember like one point Rudolph put like a little black thing on his nose, right, to keep the from lighting up or something, so people couldn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
couldn't see it. I should say, just couldn't see it. Yeah.
Oh, the guy's name was Yukon Cornelius, the red-haired one.
Oh, okay. I never remembered that one. Okay, that was out there. So, and so as far as this one goes, Elf, the one we're going to talk about, is this where would you put this on your list of must see Christmas movies?
Well, I really think everyone should watch this movie for Christmas if you celebrate and if you like Will Ferrell. It's a funny one. I think it's funny. Some people might find him annoying, but I don't know. I think it's a good funny movie. I think it's sweet. It's good for like a family and you know, there are scenes in there that are like genuinely funny. They were funny when I was like 8 or 9 and they're funny now. So,
Now, since you saw this when you were much younger, do you think that might have an effect on why you think this is a good movie? Is because the
yes.
reason I ask is a lot of people when they see something when they're younger, they get older, they still like it, even though if they saw it as an adult, they might have said no when they if they
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
how
nostalgia always impacts, but you know, it's okay. I don't mind.
the as far as the but how, as far as the initial question I asked you, how would you put this as rating as far as the must see? Would this be like the top movie to see, or would there be another movie that would be better than this one? Or how would you put this if you listed them out? Would it be like where would this one go in your list?
I don't know. I guess this would probably be near the top because I do genuinely like it a lot. Um it wouldn't be at the top of the list. It might be like fourth.
Oh, okay, all right, that's pretty high up there. So how many are on your list altogether? Would you say maybe
I
a
don't
dozen?
know. That's what I'm trying to think about because my top one is called Eloise at Christmas Time.
Okay.
Um I don't know what my second one would be though.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to let's go ahead and bring these images up here. Here's the movie. I just happened to pause randomly on this spot. I don't know if this is what I'm looking at. Is that the character Chucky from those little horror movies?
I don't think so. Those look like kids.
Okay. Or maybe I'm just seeing things there. Okay. So why don't you describe the plot of this movie for people who have not seen this?
So, this is Buddy the Elf. He was basically in the start of the movie, he was at an adoption center as a baby. And he crawls into Santa's gift bag when Santa visits the adoption agency. And Santa doesn't notice him until he gets back to the workshop where the other elves are and everything. And then the baby crawls out of the bag and one of the elves adopts him. I think the elf who adopts him is named Papa Elf. Um, and then he's raised as an elf, but he is always different because he's much bigger, because he's a human and he's like 6 feet tall. And one day he realizes, when he's like an adult, he realizes that he's not good at anything, and he like kind of has a mental breakdown about it. And then the other elves like try to console him, and he overhears two elves saying, if he hasn't figured out he's a human by now, I don't think he ever will. And then he spirals, more. And then he feels like he has to go meet his father after Santa tells him about everything. And he finds out that his father is on the naughty list. So he goes to New York and he tries to meet his father, and he meets him, but his father thinks he's a whack job because he is acting like one. And so then he gets thrown out by security, and he goes into Gimbals because security says, why don't you go into Gimbals? And they think he's working there because he's dressed as an elf. And then he meets the woman of his dreams, who he thinks shares an affinity for elf culture. And he tries to see his father again, gets thrown out again. And then he finally I think actually he gets thrown in prison when he confronts a mall Santa for not being the real Santa, and he starts a fight in the middle of Gimbals. So he goes to jail for that. And then he calls his father to bail him out, and his father is finally like, why are you bothering me? And he's like, because you're my dad. And then they go get a DNA test, and they find out that it's true. And then they kind of spend a lot of time together. Sorry, I coughed. And they spend a lot of time together. And then, hold on, what happens from here? I'm forgetting.
So after this, they spent a lot of time together. It's just like different little happenings, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. And then he goes on a date with Jovi.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's later, I think.
Played by Zoe.
Yeah, he goes to his dad's work, and he goes to the mail room, and he causes a ruckus. And then he goes on a date with Jovi, and then
this little talk with one of the guys at the other. Is her name Jovi, was played by Zoe Deschanel, I think. I don't pronounce her last name correctly, but yeah. And she's normally she's a brunette. This time she's a blonde, which like threw me off a little bit there. So not used to seeing her as a blonde. So, but I always like seeing her in any movie. So go ahead.
Oh, and then his father is on the phone with a man named Walter Hobbs. No, wait. No, I think the father's name is Walter Hobbs, and he's on the phone with that guy. He's like a big children's book publisher or illustrator or writer or something. And then he's on the phone with him, and his son goes in, and he exclaims, no, wait. Yeah. They're in a meeting together, and his son comes in, and he exclaims like that he loves Jovi and all this stuff. And then the short guy tells him to get out, and then Buddy says that he's an angry elf, and he makes him really angry. And then they have a fight, and then the dad says that he doesn't care that he's his son, and he says all this mean stuff. And then Buddy tries to run away, and he goes to, I guess he sees Santa's sleigh crash, and he goes to the park where it crashed. And then Santa's like, I need you to fix my sleigh. And Buddy's like, oh no, I'm not good at anything. But Santa reassures him that he's good at fixing stuff and all that. And then what happens after this?
The sleigh, they have to bring up the Christmas spirit, so everyone gets together to because the meter on the sleigh shows that it's down to zero, meaning nobody believes in Santa Claus anymore. So
Right. Yeah, the sleigh meter was definitely probably the thing in the movie that had the most plot holes because it didn't seem to work very consistently, but that's okay.
the now the getting to at the very end, of course, they have the happy ending, and everybody believes in Santa Claus. Well, at least everyone within the range of a few blocks, anyway. I mean, we don't know about the rest of the world, so
Right.
somehow the meter, that little needle, goes up to, like, I think goes up to 100%, if I'm not mistaken. But we only see like a few people standing in the streets, and I can tell you that if you've ever, most people that I know don't really watch the news or listen to the news on Christmas Eve. In fact, most people are ignoring the TV when that's newscasts that are going on. So the idea that people are going to be watching the news to see this is probably not going to help at all. As far as people are just going to be with their families and doing other things. So the I would think that the needle would probably not even budge at all based on the
Right.
in real life if something like that was going on. So uh,
Yeah, and then another part of it was um I think when Santa showed, oh, what was the little kid's name?
oh, the
The little
brother,
brother.
I forget the brother's name. I completely forgot. Let me
When
see.
he showed him the list, the sleigh didn't go up very much. And then every time, like, and then with that whole group of people, like you said before, it went up like 1,000,000%. So yeah, the little gauge was the least
Oh,
probable part of the movie,
the,
other
the,
than Santa. But
there's the gauge. If I can stop it, there we go. Okay, there we go. Got it. The clausometer. Yes, and I don't know if I said this before, but it's a problem I've seen in movies. It's not a big deal. But I do like to bring it up though. It's well that everything that's going on within the movie is like representative of what's going on throughout the entire world, even though you're only seeing like a little small section of the entire, like maybe like in this case, you're only seeing a couple of blocks. Somehow that represents the entire planet in some way. So, and
right,
of course, it doesn't make any sense because they're barely touching anybody, very barely uh, affecting anybody where they're standing and talking. So somehow the clausometer goes up to 100%, even though the rest of the world probably has no idea what's going on in Central Park at this point. So,
right.
but anyway, like I said, it's not a big deal. Just enjoy the movie. And, don't think about things like that. So, the cast that's in this, Will Ferrell was not is what I consider to be is a somewhat annoying persona. But he did get annoying in a different way for me, in the sense that he was his the way how naive he was. It just he wouldn't get out of that naive attitude he had. So that got a little bit annoying in the way that he was constantly. It's like he was just not catching on to things around him, and it didn't make any sense because he's an adult, and it made me think, well, is he? It makes him come across as being having maybe he's mentally challenged in some ways sometimes. It was not, that part just seemed unbelievable to me. There's another movie that has a similar type of character called Death to Smoochie. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think so.
And the character is naive as well, but he's still kind of smart at the same time. So he isn't constantly being so naive about things around him that he's just looking really, dumb in some ways. Like when he has the fight with the little guy, they calling him an elf. It just made him look a little too naive and a little too getting on the border of being too stupid sometimes. So, and
That's fair.
I don't like when movies do that with the main character. The character needs to be a little bit smarter than that. And the movie Death to Smoochie, he was naive, but at the same time, you could tell he was actually smart, so he wouldn't get into those kind of scenarios as often. So
Oh, yeah, but then there probably wouldn't be scenes like when he takes all the gum off the underneath and eats it, or when he thinks that it's like the best coffee shop in the world and he takes Jovi to it just because it has that sign. Those are funny to me. I think those are funny.
yeah, those are pretty. Yes. So where was the gum? Where did he? Oh, that was when
And
he's
that was in the beginning, yeah, when he first goes to New York City.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, right, because Papa Smurf or Papa Smurf, Papa Elf said, not don't something about not chewing the gum, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he said, I think he said something like, the gum on the underneath of the railings is not free candy or
There it is.
something like that. There it is.
Yeah.
Now, the only way I think this could have been filmed, I think about this all the time. When I see this scene, I think the only way they could have done it is if they really disinfected that railing and then he pre-chewed a bunch of gum and they stuck it on there.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine. I know that like method acting is a thing, but I can't imagine someone would chew pre-chewed gum.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's doing. Yeah, yeah, I seriously doubt he's doing. Yeah, I know what you mean though. So, but yeah, it was a funny scene though. Who the cast is in this? We got Bob Newhart playing Papa Elf, and Bob Newhart's it's always had he always has that same kind of delivery for every person, every character he ever plays. He's always that kind of like not really happy, not really sad, but kind of like a mix in between of a character when he's talking all the time. And he's always for me, I always like Bob Newhart. Every time I see him, he's always one of my he's always pretty good. So Ed Asner was playing Santa. Now Ed Asner for me, there's a TV show back in the 70s called The Mary Tyler Moore Show, and he played the editor on the show. Mary Tyler Moore was she worked at a news station, and she was I forget what her position was, but I think she might have been a producer. I don't think she was one of the on-air people, but he was the editor at this. He was the one that was basically in charge of the whole news operation. So every time I see Ed Asner, I just think of that immediately. So, Will Ferrell, of course, would be anything. James Caan playing the dad. James Caan always usually plays like a meanie, and he played a meanie in this one too. But then he kind of warms up towards the end. So, who else? And Zoe, what's her name again? Nationale, I don't want to mispronounce her name. She plays the same. Well, she's got kind of like a little bit more. She's not really in other movies I've seen her in. She seems to be a little bit more. She's not stupid, but like in other movies, she's a little bit more smarter. I should say she's not, like I said, she's not stupid. She's just not playing that same smart character that she tends to play that I've seen her in. So, who else was in there? Anyone else that stands out for you?
Jon Favreau,
Yeah, who was he?
he was the doctor. Or what is it? Jon Favreau is his first name something else? Favreau is his last name. I
Okay.
usually like his movies.
I'm not seeing him on the credits here. I've got it up on the.
I think he also was like a producer or something.
Really? Okay, 1 second. Is it John? Oops, wrong one. My bad.
Let me see.
John. Okay.
Yeah, Jon.
Oh, it's Jon. Okay.
Favreau.
There he is. I see him. Okay. Got him. So I didn't recognize him. Hold on a second. Bring him up here in a second. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. So yeah, he's the got him as the director, and he had the little. I guess you could call that a cameo appearance as the doctor. So yeah,
Oh,
he's the director. So look here. There he is. Okay. Jon Favreau. I've heard of him. I just didn't know who he was. So, all right. What else has he done here? Anything you're familiar with?
yeah, he was in the Iron Man series and a little bit more of like the Marvel universe, and then he was also in this movie called Chef, which I really like. It's a pretty good movie.
He produced that one as well. So, okay.
Oh, yeah, he's talented. He was also in a few episodes of Friends. So that's interesting.
Oh, okay. The oh my goodness, look at that. My God, our birthdays are only 5 days apart.
Wow,
He's 5 days older than me. So
that's
pretty cool.
fun.
Yeah. The Orville. He's in the Orville too. I had to see that. Yeah, the Orville is a show I watch when it's on. That's kind of a funny show. So with Seth MacFarlane. But okay, Like I said, I've heard the name. I just didn't know exactly who he was. But now that you say that, he does seem to be coming back into some of the things I have heard of him, and when I wouldn't recognize him when I saw his name or face. I mean, but the name for sure. So that's interesting. So
Right. So, what were your favorite scenes in Elf?
well, that's a good question. I don't know. Let me think as we're going through. Let me see if I can scan through here. Um, I would say, hmm, I don't know if I really have a favorite scene, to be honest. Oh, here we go. That's him. I'm going back. Let me jump back real quick. He doesn't have a beard there. Oh, that's why he shaved his face there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate this thing. I can't, that doesn't stop when I want it to. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I can't think of any. The movie itself I will say it's a good movie, but I can't think of anything in particular that really would make it be my favorite, our favorite scene. How about you?
Um, I just like the funny ones where like the one where he talks about the four main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corn, and syrup. I think that's great. I mean, I feel like it's definitely nostalgia, and the fact that I thought that these were like the best jokes ever when I was like 8, like that's probably why I like them so much now and I still like them. But I think it's just one of those good movies that parents can enjoy and it doesn't get too irritating how sometimes kids shows and movies can get, and kids can enjoy because it's I don't know, it's just accessible to like everyone, and there are like parental jokes in there every now and then. I think it's like the syrup one. I did not understand that until a few years ago. I didn't understand when he was talking about putting syrup in coffee. I thought it was he was actually talking about syrup when I was a kid, and I didn't know
Mhm.
he was talking about alcohol. So it's that kind of thing. I think it's an overall like good family Christmas movie. So
Yeah, I will say I like that. I do like this scene. If you had to pick a favorite, with the guy then working in the mailroom, and they like talk and they start laughing. So that was kind of funny. Uh, the I would like to see Zoe with more of the kind of character that she plays in other movies. She just didn't seem to add very much to this, in my opinion. So she was just there to be a simple, basic love interest and didn't really show very much.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it was like the spirit of Christmas was represented by Buddy, and he like that might be the naivety that you didn't like because it was like he was so I don't know, he was just so childlike, and the spirit of Christmas was so strong that even the real world problems couldn't get him down until his dad yelled at him. But, other than that,
Mhm. Now,
oh, I did like the scene where he apologized on the Etch a Sketch, where he was like, "I'm sorry, I ruined your lives," and crammed 12 cookies into the VCR. That was funny.
where was that? I completely forgot about that. Was that here? Or was it close to here?
It was a little before he starts walking, before
Before this? Okay, let me use
no, before that.
yeah. Let me use this instead. There we go. Is it before this? Oh, here
There
it
it
is.
is.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh well, yeah, that's the Etch a Sketch.
Yeah, and he was one of I've seen people that can do really artistic things with those. Have you ever used one of those before?
Yeah, I had one for a while, for like most of my childhood. I never figured out how to do like really cool stuff, but it was fun to wiggle the little drawers. I never really figured it out.
It's not coming up for us. Oh, was it there? Or did we miss it?
Was what there?
The where was the etch a sketch? The message. Where was the message at?
Oh, rewind a little bit more, a little more, a little more.
Oh,
There it
there.
is.
I missed this. Oh, you know what? You know what happened? Okay, I admit when I watch these movies, I sometimes I'm doing something else, so I don't see everything that's on the screen. I apologize. Okay, whoops, I want that. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, oh, I missed that. Okay,
Yeah, what does it say exactly?
I can't even read. Let me go back a little. Let's go back again. There you go.
It's just the way he says it is so funny.
Does he actually say it? Does he actually speak? We can bring up the
Yeah.
sound.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, he says it out loud. You might have
Cookies.
to rewind it a little.
Okay. All right. You gotta be careful with these. Like I play it for a
Sorry,
second.
I ruined your lives and crammed
Oh, okay. I see how.
11 cookies into the VCR.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, of course, anyone's used one of these. I mean, you could technically do what he's doing there. I mean, maybe the person is really doing that. I don't know, but not that fast. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Those things are they take a lot of patience. I used to try them when I was a kid. I just found them kind of annoying after a while. So,
Yeah.
but I have seen people do a lot of creative things. There was a scene in there with the Mona Lisa. Was that something he was supposed to have done?
Yes. It was after he decorated Gimbals.
Oh, it's right. The big guy, the big manager guy was like all upset, like he didn't want to lose his job.
Yeah.
See if I can bring that up here. But yeah, so yeah, that guy right there. Yeah,
There
it
it
is.
is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So he supposedly did the Mona Lisa on the Etch a Sketch.
Yeah. So now, as far as as far as like the I mean, obviously this is entertaining. How would you describe this as far as like say it's just an entertaining movie, or would you say it's anything more than? Is there anything more in depth to this as far as how you view this movie, or is it just for fun?
Well, I think it's definitely fun and entertaining, but I think it has that underlying message of most Christmas movies, which is like the spirit of giving and the holiday season will always conquer all hate, love conquers all, blah, 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 that kind of thing. It's like
Right.
most Christmas movies have that. And also, Santa is real for the kids.
The like before we go too far, there was one other person I forgot, Mary Steenburgen. I completely forgot she was in this.
Oh yeah, she was also the mother in Step Brothers, which is another film that Will Ferrell was in. I think she was his mother in that movie. So
Oh really? Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Well, she's a stepmother in this one, so I guess you could say kind of. So the what was I gonna say? That message you said is always nice. Unfortunately, in real life, people seem to be very caring. Some people seem to be very caring and giving during Christmas time, but once December 25th is over with, you're on December 26th. It's like, nope, we're back to normal. We're all going to be jerks again. So it'd be nice if people could actually be nice longer than just through December the 25th. So it's something my dad and I have always kind of been it's like, why can't what people, it's nice to see people being so friendly and caring and giving, but once the Christmas holiday's over, it's like it's like nope, we're going to be jerks again. It's like, why can't you be like that all year long, that kind of thing. So
I think some people are like that. I don't really understand people who can be like mean for no reason, but I do think a lot of people have a hard time thinking about a situation from anyone's perspective but their own. For example, when someone is angry about something wrong with their computer and they call support and they're angry at the support person and they don't know, like they're just angry at the situation and they like take their anger out on everyone else. My dad says it's like pissing on everyone else when you're angry. I think there are a lot of people like that, which is unfortunate, that are like, they don't understand that. I don't know. It's just weird. And you're right. It is unfortunate that not everyone can just be like nice all the time. But
yeah. And it's so weird how it's like everyone just get all these people, not everyone, of course. I mean, I try to maintain the same kind of attitude throughout the entire year. I don't really change because it's Christmas, But I just noticed that there are certain people that just get so much more friendlier and so much more caring and giving, and then it's like it's just so interesting how different it is during that time of year. When I was a kid, I used to have a paper route. If I said this, I don't know if I said this or not, but whenever I go to collect the paper money at the end of every month, had to collect the bill from everybody, and I every December, if as long as I collected the money before December the 25th, I would often get at least a $5 tip from everybody, which $5 back then was a lot of money. So
Right.
I had like at least 30 or 40 customers. So that's like, giving an average of maybe $5 times 30, that's 150 bucks right there. So,
Yeah,
and,
it's really weird.
and then if I remember one time I collected towards the end when I stopped doing my paper route, like I collected after December the 25th and nobody gave me any tip. So, so I realized, oops, I shouldn't have done that. I should have got collected the money beforehand. So, but
Yeah.
I'd also get a lot of times they would give me, instead of giving me a $5 tip, they would give me like a $5 coupon book with McDonald's food. I don't know if they still have those. It'd be like a big like a coupon book of just you could spend it, you could use it instead of money. So it was just a way, instead of giving me the money, they just felt more comfortable giving me like a gift instead. So
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like another thing that people should try to remember is that you can give gifts anytime and for nothing. Like, I think a lot of people only give gifts during the holiday season because they know or they expect one in return. And at that point, is it really a gift, you know?
right.
And then also when it's like obligatory, like when someone is going away or like leaving a job or whatever, or a birthday. But I started doing this thing, and it's not like extravagant gifts or anything, but there are times when, like, I don't know, I'll paint something and I think to myself, oh, my friend would like this, so I mail it to her, and it's like a little gift. It's like the little things that make you really special as a person and will have everyone be happy around you. Or
Wow.
like if you see something like at the grocery store that you think someone close to you would like, even if it's a can of beans, like it can just be something funny or weird. And you could just give it to someone, and it doesn't have to be for any occasion. And they, it's just like a little gift or like a nice rock you find. You don't even have to spend money. So yeah, I agree with you. I wish more people would kind of have the same mindset all year round. And if you're gonna be, an ass, just do it all year round. Don't change it up in December. It's confusing.
I gotta say, you painting up painting something and giving it to a friend has got to be one of the nicest things I've ever heard anyone done. I mean, you're giving your part of yourself to somebody at that point, essentially. So,
Yeah, people. I feel like it's. I mean, you don't even have to be good at painting to give a gift, but I do think those are the more special ones. I gave one of my friends 2 loaves of bread that I baked for her birthday, and she really loved it. And I think that, when you make something with your hands, that's like one of the most special things you can give to somebody. So,
hmm, that is really nice. I don't I've done certain things like that, but it's I haven't done it well. I'm not getting into details as to why I did, but I have done things like that. But it's for other reasons, not just because I was trying to make someone happy, but for other reasons as well. So, but I wish I could do that for more people and be more generous like you are. You seem to be a very generous and caring person. So,
it's very fun. And I hear a lot of people with like mental disabilities are that kind of way where you're just a bit more sensitive to everything around you. So you think of people more often, and maybe I don't know. I don't know. It kind of, I've heard other people with um, my same disabilities kind of say the same stuff, and that we like do similar things. So
what do you mean?
I don't
I'm
know if
sorry,
that makes
I
sense.
missed something there. Could we go back? Could you explain that because I missed something?
I hear that like other people that I know that have similar or the same disabilities as I do feel the same way, where it's like you're a little more sensitive to other people and mm, I don't want to say more caring because it sounds like, I don't know. it sounds a little pretentious, I guess.
Hmm.
But it's kind of true. It's like you're a little more empathetic to other people. It's
I,
just something about your brain is wired differently a little bit, which is nice.
I see what you're saying. I know my mother. I'm not going to give specific reasons why, but my mother has that kind of empathy towards people that she perceives have experienced certain life issues that she's experienced. I've noticed that in her very much so. So I know what you're talking about, but in a different, the same but different is what you're saying. So
Yeah. And it's like if a customer is having a bad day or if they act a little weird or something, my first thought is always, oh, maybe they have some sort of like disability or something. Maybe they're just not having a good time. Whereas before, like I knew about um the disabilities that I have before I was like diagnosed, I didn't really think that way. I thought like, oh, maybe they were just being mean or maybe they were having a bad day and taking it out on me, you know. But
hmm.
I don't know. Stuff like that kind of just changes how you think about everything.
Well, you're you have to deal with customer service on a regular basis. Is that right?
Yes.
I had to deal with customer service when I was younger, not nowadays. Nowadays, I have clients that I have to deal with. That sometimes they can be jerks, um, but it's not. It's similar but different. But usually, I'm dealing with egos rather than just rude people. So people just want
Right.
to act like they're better. Like the industry I've been in, where in radio, I've been in for a long time, and I can tell you that there are people in the radio business that act like there's only a certain group of people. This is my perspective, of course. I'm not saying that they say this or they actually think this way, but it comes across this way to me, that they think that only certain people should be in radio, and they're like they are part of this elite group, and so other people should not be in radio, and they have no problems talking down to to those people who they think should not be in radio. It's really disgusting. So
Yeah, like aristocracy or something.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
and I've been in the position where people have talked down to me, and I've probably met at least four, probably maybe three or four people, not very many, but they're there that treated me like. And unfortunately, I had a job where I was really highly respected at first, and then they changed the management and they brought a new guy in that was the exact opposite, who thought basically thought me and several other people shouldn't be in the industry, and he did everything he could to make us quit. So he didn't. It was very frustrating to deal with people like that. So
That sounds awful. I thought that only happened in shows.
yeah, it's really annoying, and I don't understand why people are like that, but it's just the way it is. I recently had a guy who bought a radio station, and I don't think he likes me, and because he doesn't like me, he decided to cancel the service I provide for that radio station. So I'm not
Oh,
100%
jeez.
sure. I'm not sure if that's the reason he did, but I'm pretty sure it is. I can't say with absolute certainty, but about 20 years ago, I saw him at a Christmas party, and I walked up to him to say hi, and he just snubbed me and walked away. Or so I don't remember the exact thing. So that was pretty much a clear indication that he does not like to be around me. He was talking to everyone else, but not me. So,
That is so rude.
and I've had situations. I will say this: I have had situations where I've me and some another person have just not gotten along, and we just don't like each other. In this case, this is not the situation. I never had anything against this guy, so I don't know, what he had, if he does, or what if he does have something against me. I'm not sure why, but all I can think of is maybe he's one of those elitists again that just thinks that he's better than me, and I shouldn't be talking to him, and or I shouldn't be in radio in the first place, or who knows. But anyway, when I heard he was the one buying the radio station, I wasn't surprised when he decided they decided to terminate the service. I will say this: the people at the station were very much thankful for the service I provided them. It was the exact opposite of what I never heard anything from him directly though. So
In situations like that, when someone doesn't like you for seemingly no reason, it's always safe to assume that they're jealous because that's usually what it is anyway.
that's it. Sometimes, or they're just, I mean, I don't know if that's the case. I wouldn't assume it every time. Sometimes, yeah, I do agree that could be the case. I don't think it would be the case every time though. I wouldn't assume it every time. Sometimes they're just bullies and they're just pompous and arrogant. So,
That's true. It's always like that in the shows, though, that it's like jealousy.
oh
So,
yeah, Yeah, the TV shows. Yeah, they always do on TV shows for sure, because they always want to make the. In my opinion, they're trying to make the bad guy out to be like, oh, I can't think the right word. They're trying to make the main the hero of the show, the protagonist, to be the victor, and they're trying to denounce the bad guy, the antagonist, in some way, and they try to. There was I can't formulate the right words here, but they're always trying to make them as petty as possible in some way, instead of giving, and that's not always the case in the real world. So
Right, giving the protagonist no faults.
Mhm. Yeah. So, and also, by the way, the guy who bought the radio station, it's not like he's rich or anything. He only paid $1,000 for the radio station. So radio stations are selling for pretty cheap nowadays. And the reason it only cost $1,000 is because he didn't buy the land, he didn't buy the equipment. So all he bought was the license for the radio station. So the actual land, he has to actually vacate the property once he buys it. So
Interesting.
yeah. See, I that's the cheapest I've heard so far of a radio station. The last I heard, about 10 years ago, I heard a person buy one for $10,000, which I thought was really cheap, but it was the same thing. It did not include the land, obviously. It included just the license to operate that on that frequency. So
Right.
$1,000 that's the lowest so far I've heard, and that's for a very popular. It's an AM station, but it's still a very popular and well-respected AM radio station. It's very strong with the community. People still like it; they listen to it. So $1,000 really for that station really was astounding to me. So
I never thought about like the purchasing of radio stations.
yeah, usually if you want to buy like an FM station, about 15 years ago, they go for a lot of money, like maybe like $1 million or so at least. So
Jeez.
like nowadays, like the company I used to work for, Westwood. I used to work for a company that was called Shadow Traffic, and it was merged together with Metro Traffic and another company called Smart Traveler, and another company, I forget the other company. And basically, Westwood One owned all these companies that were merged together. And when they sold it, supposedly they sold the entire company for like $175 million.
Oh.
No, that's unofficial. They never disclosed the actual amount, but that was the speculation. It was somewhere around 175 million. So, and they had a lot of employees. So that I didn't know it was going to be that high, but that sounds, I guess, about right. So
Numbers are hard. I don't really understand numbers when they get into like the hundreds of thousands. That gets a little bit like, I don't really understand what is going on anymore, you know?
gotcha. You want to see something funny that you bring that up? You might find this amusing.
Go for it.
This is if you ever bring up Google, well, I'll do it right now. I'll demonstrate it. Bring up Google Translate. Okay. Bring up the numbers. So let's say you said 100,000. So let's go to 100,000. Oops. 1 Okay, tell me if you can hear this.
100,000.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so watch what happens. This is really funny. Let's go with we go 100,000 and 100. I'll just keep on doing 100,000. So let me copy it and duplicate it a few times. Oops, put a comment here. Okay, here we go.
100 trillion, 100 billion, 100 million, 100,000, 100, 100,000,
Hold
100.
on. Sorry, I messed up. There's I didn't put a comma in there. My bad. That's why it's doing that. You're not hearing what I want you to hear. Okay, this is getting really high up there. Okay, I think they should do it now.
100 tridecillion, 100 duodecillion, 100 undecillion, 100 decillion, 100 nonillion, 100.
So you get the idea there.
I didn't know numbers went up that high. I thought after like a billion, you just quit and you went infinity.
I was amazed to do. I know there was numbers that were way up there, but I was like amazed that Google actually went to the effort to put all that in there. I went really, really high one time. It was like several rows, and it was just the voice just kept on rattling off whatever it is at that high number. It was really funny. I mean, the idea that you can actually get up to that high in anything is ridiculous. The idea that someone actually came up with a name for that number range is it's like, why?
Yeah.
Because that number is just so astronomically high. I mean, when you get into the trillions, you're just really high right there. That's ridiculously high to begin with. But even going beyond that is unbelievably high. So
Yeah. I try not to think about trillions. That's why I forgot about it. Or if you want to say a high number, you just say gazillion. Everyone knows that.
Gazillion. Yeah, that's a good one. So, okay, so getting back to our movie, what would you give the grade on this one? I'm sure it's going to be a high one.
Well, for Christmas movies, for Christmas time, December Christmas movies, I would probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. But for like, movies that are like just like general movies, like if I was comparing this to all the movies instead of just Christmas movies, I would probably give it maybe like a 6 out of 10.
Wow, really? 6? Is that kind of low?
In comparison to all the movies ever, maybe 6.5. It's not like It's not like I would try to watch it outside of Christmas time.
Right. I just think 6. Well, when I hear 6.5 out of 10, I think of like the grading scale. Like 65 out of 100 is like a D, which is like low. That's what I think of when I hear 6 out of 10.
I try not to think about grades, so
Oh.
I think of like an F is like a 1,
Okay.
and like a 6.5 is like like a good B-ish, C.
Okay. So basically, I guess you're to make it more to clarify to people who are listening, your scale is more like based on all movies, like if you were to put all movies lined up all together and you like put them in order, like to the best to worst, maybe this would fall into that range right around there,
Yeah,
like around. Okay.
yeah. It would be like middle range. But as far as Christmas movies, I think it's like a good 8.5 because it's pretty good and it makes you chuckle.
Okay. And would you recommend? I assume you would recommend this.
Yes. I mean, if you maybe don't have kids or aren't a kid, and you're just watching it alone, I mean, I would recommend it. It might be annoying, but I feel like part of the joy of watching Christmas movies with a family is part of it for families is like seeing a kid like it and laugh and stuff. I know that was like why my parents watched all the annoying Christmas movies when I was a kid. So I would definitely recommend it if you're like a family and you're watching it. What would you grade it?
I'd probably give it like a 7. It's an even 7. Good movie. Like I said, the only thing I found a little annoying after a while was how he just didn't seem to outgrow that childlike attitude as the movie progressed. I think he needed to get out of that because he was an adult, he wasn't a child. It made him look like he was a little bit too mentally challenged after a while. So he should have been, and he was raised by the elves, which are intelligent, and they were obviously very intelligent. They didn't walk around acting with this kind of attitude that he had. So why did he have that? So
That's true. I never thought about that. Huh.
But in fact, even Papa Elf was very smart. Of course, that's Bob Newhart, and Bob Newhart's always smart. So, but that was the only thing that I found a little annoying. But other than that, it was a pretty decent movie, especially if you're looking for something for Christmas. Yeah, it's funny, it's fine and funny, and I do wish that they had Zooey Deschanel's character. I wish she was a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more smarter. That not emphasize she was not a dumb character at all. Just not as smart as I usually see her. So
That's true. Maybe just a little more dimension, It was just work and then like she was good at singing, but
yeah. So and anything else? Yeah, I would definitely recommend the movie for people who want to see a Christmas movie. Honestly, my close friends though they would say nah. They probably pass on it immediately. So unfortunately, so and I guess that's about it. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, well we can go back to our questions. See what kind of looks like it was. Had a couple of responses. Give me a second here while I try to sift through all my little windows here.
Okay, take your time. I'm gonna blow my nose really quick.
Alrighty, I thought I had it here. Where did it go? Oops. Oh, you know what? I think I might have used. Oh, that's right. I think I used this to Okay, here we go. There it is, right here. Oh wow, we got this is for 1 hour. That's not too bad. 122 votes so far. It's pretty good. So, are you there?
Sorry, I muted. I was blowing my nose.
Yeah, just make sure you were still there. The So what do you do when you're sick? 51% said they eat lots of soup. And we get next one down with 22% saying take medication. Actually, it just seems to go in line there. 13% I never get sick. 6% with they drink tea, and 8% with other and comment below. We only got it says 2 comments, but we have 3 comments. So let's see. We got Mr. I can't remember his name, but he leaves comments on here on a regular basis. Oh, by the way, we did say we did have a couple of comments on there. We did. I think go back. He wanted to ask you if you liked the GTA games. So
A little. Yeah.
okay. Also said his name was Diago. Thanks, Diago. We also had a comment from Lewis saying hello with 1L. And then he came back and said hi again. See, Diago said hi again. So anyway, I forgot to go through those earlier. He says, go back to their comments here. He says, I go to Cluckenbell in order. Okay. He's quoting a line from the video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So there's 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip. If you watch the video game, this is a very common thing in the game. So I don't know if I've ever showed that to you, but that's what that's from. So Beast Mode says I barely ever get physically sick because I lost 100 pounds and smoke weed. Okay. Does that help?
Maybe.
Let's see. I know people smoke weed. I've never smoked weed at all. So I know that people smoke it when they get sick, like to help with pain, to reduce the pain, inflammation, and things like that. But I didn't know smoking weed was supposed to help you from getting sick before. So
I don't think it really impacts your immunity system.
Right. I have a cousin who smokes weed, and this is kind of getting off topic, but he would smoke weed, and my sister and I would always wonder, like, whenever I see people smoke weed, they usually seem to mellow out. He was the exact opposite. He would just get more hyper for some reason. So had the exact opposite effect for him for some reason. Renegade MS, is that right? Says deal with the S and go to work. I need money. This pays. I can do it. I don't care. I'm late or not. I'm not looking for someone. And I am looking for something. For someone. Excuse me. Sorry, I can't read it there. So I'm not sure what he means by he's looking for someone. That means
neither am I. Maybe it's like Taken, like that movie series.
Oh, maybe. Okay. So okay. Well, if you can come back and explain that, so because we're sorry, we're a little over our heads on that one. So, but the rest of it makes sense. I can understand. Yeah, needing to pay the bills, especially like I run my own business, and yeah, I can't take off if I'm sick. Otherwise, I would lose clients and go out of work. So even if I'm sick in any way, shape, or form, yes, I'm working every day. So I do know when I had a regular job, though, I had jobs where you could take off for sick leave. In fact, I would even take off for sick leave when I wasn't sick sometimes, just because I got tired of going to work. So, and I'd still get paid for it. So, I do, and I had a job several years ago when I was going to college. That is, I worked part time as a courier, so I had to, if I wanted the money, I had to work. Otherwise, I was not going to get paid. There was no sick leave with that. But basically, going around delivering packages in my own car throughout the day for businesses. And that was a job where, yeah, I had to work. But based on what he's saying, it depends on what kind of work you have. If you have a job where you can take sick leave, why not take it? You're still going to get paid, right? So
right.
Take advantage of it. I do know, like the one company I had, they had a really good benefits as long as you and they had it's like you might as well just use them at the end of the year, otherwise they would go unused. So it's like, why not just use them every year? You're not, it's like, if you have sick days, why not use them? It's not gonna. Anyway, I'm just going off on that part though. But yeah, I can understand what he's saying. But like I said, going back to what I said, it just depends on what kind of work you have. So how do you feel about these responses?
I would think more people would drink tea, but I'm glad we are narrowing down the people who vote on these polls who are aliens, because I think that I never get sick is a response that an alien would have. So now I know that 13% of you are aliens. So that's
The
good.
never getting sick is something I used to say a lot when I was younger. So I would say I never get sick. I never get sick. So maybe they're just people like that. I don't know. I used to brag about not getting sick all the time when I was younger, but I would get sick anyway. But I just say I would never get sick. So maybe they're just being like me. It's like they're bragging about something that's not true. So
I wouldn't want to jinx it though. That's why I don't say that thing, because I feel like, I don't know. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. I don't want to jinx getting sick if I say, because I feel like if I say, oh, I never get sick, I will like the next week get sick.
hmm So, well, I don't think I don't have the superstitious part of it. So me saying it, I don't think really affected me. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to tell people that something that probably wasn't true, or what definitely wasn't true. So
Interesting.
I will say this: I did get something. This may be kind of gross, but something on my face one time. I got sick, and it caused my whole side of my face to swell up and get all puffy. It was really gross when I was a kid. And then the swelling went back down, and I was back to normal again. So whatever that was bad. And then I got like some sort of poison sumac or something on my face, I think, and that caused it to swell up again, but for a different reason. So
Oh, my face used to do that when I was a kid. I had really bad allergies, and I would wake up and it was like really scary, because like it was like a severe allergic reaction on my whole face, and like in my throat and stuff. And then we would have to go to like the allergist, like as an emergency sort of thing. So,
that's serious, huh?
but that was more allergies. It wasn't really sick.
That's serious. So you had to actually go to a doctor basically because the allergies were that bad.
Yes. Oh, it was so bad. My allergies are really, really bad, but when I was a kid, they were worse. I was like literally allergic to everything. It was like, I mean, right now, whenever it's springtime, I get really, really like stuffed up and congested, and it's really gross. But back then, it was like I could barely breathe, and I would wake up with a huge puffy face, and it was like really scary. But also, I didn't have to go to school on those days, so it was kind of fine.
Oh, well, you seem like the kind of person who would actually enjoy school sometimes, though. Maybe you'll learn at least.
I did, but in elementary school, I got bullied a lot, so I didn't like going to school and like seeing people. I liked just learning.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I can relate to that. So yeah, that part I
Yeah.
completely.
So
Alrighty.
missing school was pretty cool.
All right. Well, before we go, we just want to remind everybody that we have an affiliate link for NordVPN, so that helps us run this. If you click on that, you can get their service. They have I don't remember the exact deal, but if you click on it, you'll see it's like you get a certain discount per month, and if you get the service, that helps us pay for our programs that we're doing here. So we want to thank you for doing that.
All right. Thank you all for listening.
All right. Have a good one. See you next week.